There are a number of things that make the script for West Side Story different from other musicals. The strong female characters, the challenges they all face, the fact that there's no traditional chorus, that every character has a name and a role to play, and the fact that it deals with hard issues like sexual assault, violence, and ultimately, murder.
West Side Story kind of takes place in real time. And that particular element is something that makes me think of Alfred Hitchcock the most, because he did a number of films that are meant to happen in real time and, sometimes just in one take. And when the audience perceives that they're in time that is passing at the same rate they are, they can become engaged in the tension of the story differently, because there isn't any getting off the hook and then it's a week later. Nothing gets wiped away. Everything just piles and piles and piles and piles. And that's what you want, I think, in the theater generally, but especially in this kind of story, where it's gonna start just careening towards this horrible, inevitable conclusion, and you just can't stop it.
The book for West Side Story was written by Arthur Lawrence, who had already achieved success as a writer for the stage with The Home of the Brave and The Time of the Cuckoo, and as a screenwriter in Hollywood working on what became the Alfred Hitchcock film Rope.
I think what makes great writing is a bunch of people who populate a story, a world that was created. They aren't just one thing. They make mistakes, they do things right. They're funny, they're ridiculous. They are not perfect. They're people, and they're trying to find their way in the world. And if a piece of writing does that, it's going to be a great piece of writing, no matter what happens. In West Side Story, one of the first things I always notice are the strong female characters. There's more than one, and neither one of them is a princess. And it's really, really common in a lot of stories to have the woman be the object of the story, and the story is about the male experience with that object, and the woman is dealing with being that object. And in this, you really do get to just know Maria and all the different things that are going on with her. She's kind of a mess, which is true. I mean, she's going through this really surprising journey that she completely didn't look for, didn't expect. And Anita, who is really trying to guide her through this world. It's, of course, based on the relationship between Juliet and the nurse in Romeo and Juliet, but unlike that, them being closer together in age, them being able to talk to each other really as sisters, adds a whole level of that kind of dynamic between women that you just don't always get to see either. It's a great tragedy because everybody is doing their best, and none of their best is going to be good enough. There isn't somebody who's right, and there isn't actually somebody who's wrong. It's really, really complicated. And it doesn't tell you what the answer is for a better society where people don't have to die. What it does is it makes you look at a society where people die.